coming specifically to partial credit guarantee, PCG, we are looking at two things. One is mainly the issue of risk. Remember, smallholder farmers don't have it easy to borrow from commercial banks. But sustainability of this project depends on the participation also of the commercial banks, because we know that any program has timelines. So once it is phased out, we want this program commercialization to continue. And that to happen, the banks should start participating from the word go. Now, how do we attract them? So we thought of dealing with the risk which they face when lending to smallholder farmers. So the purpose of the partial credit guarantee is to de-risk the smallholder farmer, because we guarantee the loan which they take if they borrow from the banks. We will guarantee 70% of the default value, in which case then the risk that remains with the farmer, with the banks, is 30%.
AGCOM assisted us with a lot of money, and with that money we bought the tractor, but we also bought the truck. The idea was to increase production, but the question was, yes, after increasing the production, what next? So that was the challenge. So after increasing the production from, I think, 42 metric tons, we reached to 64 metric tons of soya that first year. And that was a huge gap in terms of our cash flow, and we needed money to buy now all the crop that those farmers did that particular year. So first of all, we took 12 million in the first year. That 12 million, we wanted to boost the farmers with good hybrid seeds of soya. And as I've said, the production increased to 64 metric tons. And then we needed to buy the whole of that 64 metric tons from the farmers. So we got the second one, the PCG, 78 million kwacha. And we used that money to purchase the soya from the farmers.
Recruitment of the administrator for the PCG took a bit of time. We are happy that in the end Mike came into fray to help us. So now it is being managed by Mike, Malawi Agricultural Industry Investment Corporation.
So in terms of uptake, it's more or less 50-50. We have seen farmers or producer organizations going to banks to get facilities and be able to utilize this AGCOM guarantee, or the AGCOM partial credit guarantee. Of course, the traffic is not as expected. Of course, we are expecting that since we are now in AGCOM 2, and looking at the adverts that AGCOM is releasing, it looks like the numbers actually, the number of beneficiaries, and looking at the total funding that is in the pot, the expectation is those that will benefit through that line will actually be quite a lot. So as long as the numbers are increasing in terms of AGCOM clients, then we know that people that will also be looking for partial credit guarantee will also be increasing.
With the partial guarantee, we managed to get loan from FDH, and that loan was very potential. We managed to buy adding some variety crops like soya beans, and sold it to our off-taker, and that was very, very, very supporting. And we are assuring that with our project of AGCOM, and that if that can be continued, it will be helpful to us as Msarango Cooperative.
When we got that 19 million Malaikwacha, we procured soybean with about 25 metric tons. After buying the 25 metric tons, we had anticipated that we are going to sell above 800 as according to the government price at that time. So we were forced to sell at a lower price because of the period that we were given by the bank. So we were looking at the period which the bank gave to us to repay back the loan. So we were forced to sell the commodity at a lower price.
The challenge here and there, yes. First of all, the timing on both ends, them as banks, but also us as farmers. What we've learned is maybe sometimes we started late in applying for those loans. And the banks also, because we applied late, maybe they gave us money a little bit late.
So it is actually one of the best products that we do have and we're supposed to have continuously on the market. If you're talking to people that are trying to borrow from banks, or if you're talking to bankers in general, they will tell you that the problem that customers normally have is security. So you have a good business, but if you have nothing to pledge to a commercial bank, you'll not be able to access financing. Very few customers can go to a bank and obtain a loan without pledging any security. Now, the coming in of partial credit guarantee is a huge plus because it has actually assisted to sort out that problem.
Mandama has benefited a lot, I have to be honest. And first of all, it's the relationship, as I've said. Now, the relationship is very good between us and the bank. And that even if AGCOM goes, we know that the relationship will be there. And we tried, and we've been trying, and we keep on trying to maintain that relationship that has come because of AGCOM. The second thing is the trust that the farmers can go in their farms and say, yes, let's go and let's increase the production because there's an already market for us at Mandam as a cooperative union. So that's the second one. The third one is that we'll be making now more monies because we'll be selling at the right time that we need, after making informed decisions, after looking at the market. And so that will give a boost to us as cooperatives because now we'll be making more profit and our cash flow will be very good.
I should appreciate the banks that patronize AGCOM One, especially Standard Bank, FDH, NBS Centenary banks. Yeah, so these were, quite handy in helping to roll out this program. But there were some lessons. Despite the fact that others came forward to borrow, the repayment was a bit of a problem. I think most of them just knew that we are guaranteeing the loan, then they decided not to pay. But we guarantee the loan assuming that there is a natural disaster that makes it impossible for farmers to pay back. For example, if there is declaration of drought, locusts, or any other diseases that are countrywide or area specific, but it is quite rampant in that area. So we should be able to say, okay, this is making sense. Maybe you will not be able to pay back, but not just willfully defaulting. It's a problem because now you'll be blacklisted as a cooperative, and that's not where we want to be going with the program.